Lewis Hamilton's race at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was nothing short of frustrating. He ended up in 7th place, trailing his teammate by 30 seconds, while his teammate secured the team's first podium of the 2025 season, despite struggling through the entire weekend. The Brit will no doubt be upset by this result, especially since the gap between him and Charles Leclerc has now grown significantly. If this trend continues, could Leclerc start getting the upper hand for the rest of the 2025 season? And if so, how might this impact Hamilton's future with Ferrari? Hamilton is clearly the driver who lost the most during the Jeddah Grand Prix. After starting in 7th place, he had little to no movement on track and remained stuck in that position throughout the race. Even though there were several moments where it seemed like he could overtake drivers like Antonelli, the performance of his tires and the overall car setup proved to be too much of an issue. His rear tires overheated shortly after he mounted them, which made things even harder for him. On the other hand, Leclerc showed impressive race pace and managed to keep his medium tires going for a long stretch, allowing him to stay in the fight for the podium. This strategy paid off as he successfully managed to hold his position throughout the race. It was clear that Hamilton lost valuable time due to his struggle to get his tires into the optimal temperature range. While Leclerc benefited from a cleaner air experience, which is a crucial factor when trying to maintain tire performance, Hamilton's position on the grid worked against him. He found himself in a tough spot as others pitted, and his race was already compromised by that point. Hamilton voiced his disappointment after the race, admitting that he was aware of the fans' frustration and shared in that feeling. "I know the fans aren't happy and neither am I with my results," he said. "But all I can do is keep pushing, stay positive and believe in myself. That's all I can do." With just 31 points to his name, Hamilton now trails Antonelli in the driver's standings, and Leclerc has a 16-point advantage over him. Although Hamilton secured a pole position and a sprint win in China, it's Leclerc who has taken the first podium of the season. Looking at the telemetry, Hamilton was losing around half a second per lap, mostly due to torque fluctuations that caused instability under braking. This mismatch between his driving style and the car's power unit led to a significant performance gap. This half-second deficit over the course of a lap turned into a 30-second gap by the end of the race, which was disheartening for Hamilton. It's always tough to watch your teammate finish at the front while you're struggling to even get into the points. When the race ended, Hamilton's voice was downbeat as he congratulated the team, though he was quick to apologize for not having the pace they were expecting. There's growing concern about what this means for Hamilton's future, especially with rumors circulating that Ferrari may abandon development on the 2025 car in favor of focusing entirely on 2026. This situation could turn sour for Hamilton, considering it's the 5th race of the season, and he's still grappling with the SF25. The car, which he admitted feels like an alien to him, has been a major hurdle. His struggles have been apparent since the Bahrain Grand Prix, and the Jeddah race only confirmed that he's still not comfortable with the car's setup. Despite the ongoing struggles, Hamilton has received support from his team principal, Fred Vasseur. Vasseur acknowledged the difficulties Hamilton has been facing, especially with adapting to the new car. Lewis brings invaluable experience with nearly 2 decades in F1, racing for different teams, including almost 10 years at McLaren and 12 at Mercedes, Vasseur said. "It's great to have someone with his background on the team helping us improve. We have a new car this season, which is different from last year's, and it's clear that we're struggling a bit more to find the right balance and setup." Vasseur also mentioned that Hamilton had a conversation with him after the race, where they discussed the weekend's challenges. Hamilton himself admitted that consistency has been a key issue, both in the practice sessions and in qualifying. "I had a decent first part of the second stint, but we need to be more consistent right from Friday morning," Hamilton said. "The potential is there. We just need to unlock it." Charles Leclerc also spoke about Hamilton's struggles, particularly during the Jeddah Grand Prix. The performance gap between the two drivers was hard to ignore, especially given that the high corner nature of the track should have suited the SF25. However, the seven-time world champion was unable to make the most of it. Leclerc shared his disappointment, saying, "It's been tough for us all season, and the car is difficult to drive. We need to work hard. I'm satisfied with my laps, but in the race, it's hard to gain positions when the grip isn't there." The lack of grip was a significant issue for both Ferrari drivers, forcing them to compromise their braking points and make adjustments in the second and third sectors of the track. Despite these challenges, Leclerc managed to stay within striking distance, while Hamilton struggled to keep pace. It was a tough weekend for Hamilton, who admitted that he might need a brain transplant to fully understand the SF25 and adapt to its quirks. The car's braking points remain a mystery for him, and that's something his engineers continue to point out, but the solution is still elusive. Hamilton's ongoing struggles were evident in his performance during qualifying, as well. He admitted, "I've been nowhere all weekend. I think I was 13th in almost every session, so honestly, I feel grateful to have made it to Q3 and ended up in P7. It wasn't a spectacular last lap, but I've been improving all weekend." However, despite his progress, Hamilton still feels far from finding the right rhythm with the car. He expressed his frustration with his inability to connect with the car on a single lap, something he continues to struggle with as the season progresses. His engineers, including Adami, have tried to help by analyzing telemetry data. They noticed that Leclerc's braking technique at turn 16, where he braked earlier, seemed to be more effective with the SF25, but Hamilton hasn't quite mastered this approach yet. While it seems like Hamilton is aligning with the car's driving style, it's still not the best way to optimize its performance, especially in the mid-corner and exit phases. These ongoing deficits are concerning, especially in a season where qualifying pace is so crucial. When Hamilton's engineer Adami informed him that he was losing 0.7 of a second in the first sector compared to the McLarens, Hamilton's response was one of shock. "Geez," he remarked, clearly disheartened by the gap. This highlighted the extent of his struggles during the weekend. It was apparent that the SF25 just wasn't working for him, and the lack of confidence in the car was evident. The fact that Hamilton, with all his experience, was finding it so difficult to adapt to the car's characteristics is concerning. As one Sky F1 pundit put it, there have been weekends, entire Grand Prix events, where Hamilton wouldn't have lost 0.7 to anybody, let alone in one sector. The pundit also pointed out that it seems Hamilton is going in the wrong direction with the car setup, and it's something he needs to address as soon as possible. Hamilton is not 0.7 off in the first sector of this track normally, they said. The car just isn't working for him. He's not confident in it, and it's almost uncomfortable to watch. This sentiment is shared by many observers who are now questioning how much longer it will take Hamilton to fully understand and adapt to the SF25. With all these struggles and a series of disappointing performances, the pressure is mounting on Hamilton, and it's clear that things need to change. The team is aware of the challenges, but there's only so much they can do when the driver is not fully connected with the car. As upgrades continue to roll out for the SF25, the question remains, will these changes be enough to turn things around for Hamilton? With every race, the gap between him and his teammate Leclerc seems to widen, and if this trend continues, it could have serious implications for Hamilton's future at Ferrari. The upcoming races will be crucial in determining whether Hamilton can find a way to extract the maximum performance from the car. As Vasseur said, consistency is key, and for Hamilton, it's now a matter of finding that consistency and adapting to the car's demands. But with the pressure mounting and the season unfolding, it's clear that the road ahead won't be easy. Will Hamilton be able to overcome these challenges? Or will the SF25 continue to be a car he just can't get a grip on? Only time will tell.